Got milk? Got water?
Hey there everybody, and welcome to week 11 of 2016. If you guys recall, this week is going to be the first 3 days are going to be a taper, followed by 2 days of max testing, and then the final day, Thursday, I probably won't actually show any video from it. It'll just be some minor volume to finish out the week. A quick word of warning, at the end of this video I decided to throw a very brief physique update, so run if you must, send the kids away, whatever you gotta do, just be aware it's coming. I told you last week that something crazy went on with my body weight. I wanted to tell you what the deal was with that. On Friday, March 11th, which is actually the first day of my diet week, I had a terrible time with hunger. Normally, I don't have that problem anymore now that my calories are where they are. I was eating my meals and just like, man, still hungry. And I tried my usual tricks to, get around that. For example, I moved, some of my calories to earlier meals than they otherwise would normally be eaten, because that sometimes helps just to get the food in. Also, when I, had all the food in, I was like, okay, maybe I can get away with just, a little bit of extra lean protein, so I had like a can of chicken. Then that didn't, fix it. Then I had a couple of extra bowls of cereal, Lately I've been having about 2 a day, and so this day I ended up having 4. That didn't help, and so then it was on to the vending machine. And so when all was said and done, I think I came in at like 4,300-ish calories for the day, as opposed to my usual, 2,800-ish. So it was about 1,500 over. I was thinking about it later on that night, and I was like, man, what happened, man? I just couldn't deal with it today. And then, what popped up in my head was like, oh yeah, it's like I had gone in that morning for a infusion therapy, which I have to do about every 2 months. And my doctor had ordered an extra little something before the main drug gets put into my IV. That extra little something was methylprednisone. Now, for those of you who don't know, methylprednisone is about twice as strong as regular prednisone. And when I was on prednisone for a long time, that was always taken in pill form, not shot into my IV. And the reason that's important is that the difference between how much gets to your bloodstream via pills and how much gets in via IV, which is all of it, is very big. Like, for example, I use potassium chloride in my protein shakes. And if you're not aware, potassium chloride happens to be in the third shot that they give people when they're giving them lethal injections. So, as you can see, you can take something by mouth that otherwise could kill you if you just put it straight into your veins, right? And the deal with this is that with the methylprednisone being twice as strong as the prednisone, anybody who's been on prednisone knows that A, it makes you hold water like crazy, and B, it makes you absolutely ravenous. And that was, I think, the key to what made me A, so hungry, and then B, weigh in so heavy for about, 3 days after that. So anyway, that's that story. As you can see, I'm rocking a new Dodeca shirt. I like the color scheme because it both matches the Olympic weightlifting shoes and gives me the Maniac in Black look for some of the workouts. General thought on this taper, this 3-day taper, man, it did not feel good. And I think that's actually what you want, because it implies that you've pushed a little too hard right at the end of the lifting cycle, and then you're tapering and removing some of that fatigue. And so to summarize, Cycle 2's daily PRs, we've made some progress on all the lifts, and now we're going to see if it translates into improved maxes. And this time, I didn't actually put the spoilers on the workout summary, so you're just going to have to watch and see what happens. I decided to open on the bench with 187.5, and I had talked about what I had in mind last week, and so this was the kind of like the first attempt / final warm-up. Then I went up to 207.5 because my highest daily max was 205, so we wanted to get a new record on the board, and we did easily. And so this time I said, forget 212.5, which crushed me last time. Let's just skip that and go to 215 and give it a shot. And with that, let's take a look at the bench data. It appears that I've only matched my power to weight ratio on the bench from last year, but actually in the next decimal place, if you do the math, I actually beat it just barely. Last year's bench of 240 at 142.5 actually works out to like 1.684, and the one you just saw works out to 1.686. So awesome. So moving right along to overhead press testing, open with 115. Yeah, no problem. Then went up to 127.5, which actually matched the max from last time, and it went up pretty easy as well. So then we went to 135, which crushed me last time. And as you can see, I crush it. Yeah. And checking our data on the OHP, you can see I'm still just shy of where I was last year with the overhead press, but that's okay because that just gives us motivation to keep pushing forward. Awesome. And again, no spoilers for you today. Well, actually, there is a spoiler. Guess what it is? It's hump day! My favorite day of the week. So anyway, we opened up on the squat, 275. Expected this to be super easy, and spoiler alert, it was super easy. So I don't know if you guys remember the last taper and test video I mentioned. I was like, man, it's like really hard to see the weights on the bar. So I thought it might help to show you some of the loading so you can actually get a visual of what's on the bar. Because the front view, you know, like I said, especially with my black plates, it's really hard to tell what's what. Alright, so 305 is on the bar, and we are about to try and set a new record because previously we had hit 300. So we wanted to get an extra 5 pounds on there, and we got it no problem. And it felt pretty good, so I decided to load up 315 and expected to have no problem getting it. I will say though, the adrenaline definitely got rolling for this one because even though I was pretty confident I was going to get this, you know, you never know, and there's no spotters here, right? So let's see what happens. Oh yeah, killed it. Excellent job. And as you guys may remember, we were already beyond the power to weight ratio on squats that I was at last year at this time. So the obvious next target is to hit that 2.5 body weight squat, which even if my body weight goes up to 130, 325 is gonna cover that. So that'll be the next goal. And on to the deadlift testing. I decided to open up with 275 because I knew it would be nice and easy. So I went with the double overhand grip and just ripped it up. And once again, because of the difficulty seeing my plates, I thought showing you some of the loading process would be helpful as well on the deadlifts. Let me know if you guys like this or not, because you know, it does add time to the video, but at the same time I thought it was kind of cool. So we loaded up 315 for attempt number 2, and again went with the attempt of the double overhand grip. I've been working on my grip strength, so I wanted to test that as well with these deadlifts, and no problem with that one. So for the final attempt, I decided to put on all my big plates because I only have 2 of the 45-pound plates, and then a 35 and a 25 is the most I can get on with, you know, my quote-unquote big plate. And so here we go. Can he get all 12 attempts without missing? Dun dun dun. Indeed he can, and that is excellent. And just like with the squats, we had already surpassed last year's power to weight ratio numbers, so we're just making progress into the unknown. Incidentally, that might be a good measure for when to diet. You know, if the body weight goes up, but the strength to weight ratio does not, that might indicate it's time to diet.
Homer, I have to go out to pick up something for dinner.
Steak?
Money's too tight for steak.
Steak?
Sure, steak.
Steak. Yo, guys, what's up? This is just a quick public service announcement. You know, when things go well and you put the work in and then you achieve, your short-term goals, don't forget to take a moment to treat yourself to a little reward. So that's going to be it for this week. Physique update coming up in just a moment here, so now's your time to run if you choose to do so. Other than that, see you guys next week. Bye. And so the reason I wanted to do a physique update here was that I've been telling you guys for a while. I was like, yeah, the scale's going up, but I really don't think it's body fat. Well, here is why I say that, because this is what I see, at night or whatever when I'm getting changed or whatnot. And lighting is quite favorable here, but, why not? But look at that. I mean, I got like striations in the shoulders still, in the arms, and, it looks pretty good still, even though I'm stuffing more and more food in my face. So I should write a book, the Eat More Food, Get Leaner or something diet. I think it'll